If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
It's a minute now after the hour, 69 degrees in downtown Sylacauga this morning, and we welcome two-time heavyweight champion Randy R.C. Caine and the reigning world champion Clara Curtis. Good morning to you both.
Good morning, Jimmy Dale.
And we had an intro schedule as far as y'all coming into the ring and stuff, so we thought we'd just forego that. But Clara was telling us something a little interesting that you've seen each other three.
Well, everybody thinks that we see each other all the time, but I ran into Randy, I guess it's been 3 years ago, out at the car dealership. First time we'd seen each other probably in 20-something years. And literally, we talk all the time on Facebook, but this will be the third time face-to-face in 3 years.
So he did wear his boots today, though?
He did, and I'm so proud of him. Those $300 boots, he put them on. Oh. And by the way, he bought new clothes. I asked him yesterday, he was going to leave the tags on, and I asked him not to because I was afraid that it'd show dirt cheap on there, and I didn't want him showing where he got it.
You didn't want to be embarrassed, you know. But seriously, a lot of people who watch this show and they do social media and stuff like that, and they see you guys bantering back and forth on Facebook, and they think y'all are serious. How serious are y'all?
In fighting?
We'll start with that.
Randy, you want to answer that?
Well, it all started out, like she said, from the car dealership, and we haven't seen each other in many, many years, so we just spoke, how you doing, hope you have a nice day and all that. And then we ran into the elections, and Donald Trump, and Republicans, and Democrats. So we started sharing back and forth our thoughts and our ideas, and it got a little heated, don't you think? And,
yes, it did.
It got a little heated, and it got to a certain point to where, you know, sometimes you can push it to a limit, and you feel like we need to back up a little bit. And she called me Cowboy on Facebook.
Well, he told me he had them boots for $300, and that just sounded like a good name for him.
Well, I brought up the boots because I don't know why I brought them up, but anyway, when she called me Cowboy, I thought, well, a cowboy has to have a horse. So I had an imaginary horse I named Clara. I had Clara the horse. So Clara the horse was walking around in my yard, and I was trying to be funny and roll with the flow and kind of back off that serious part of the politics, and then it just went viral.
In other words, Randy and I are not on the same team as far as politics.
Obviously not.
No.
Obviously not.
No. Mine won, by the way. Go ahead, say what you want to say.
It's statewide. You can say it. We'll get a recount.
I will be nice. I will be nice.
Is Clara the reason why Trump's not coming to Mobile?
Yeah, she's part of it. And well, when you have miscounts and illegal elections and fraud and all that kind of stuff,
sad story.
That's the reason that.
Let me get my violin out and play for this.
Crazy Joe Biden is wherever he's at today, unless he's in his basement.
He don't have a basement. But anyway, my team won, so that's all that really matters.
Yeah, it is.
You know, that's who's sitting in the White House running the show. So
it's amazing, however, you know, people look at Facebook and they won't take it with a grain of salt. They'll take it for fact.
Oh yeah.
Randy's followers do. And he's got many followers. I do too, but mine are very calm.
Okay.
They don't say a lot.
Yeah.
Randy's followers. Did you hear what she just called you?
I don't know if that's cult-like or what.
Well, no, my followers are calm and level-headed with common sense.
Ooh, I better play for that too.
And do things fair and upfront. I don't think they cheat in elections. I think that my followers, as she calls it.
See if this
let's
is
go ahead and put these damn gloves on.
Those are my grandson's gloves. Y'all be careful with those.
So that's kind of how this thing started. And then I think we both had to take a break from getting too serious, because then we started asking, all my followers started asking, well, give me some really good reasons or what is Joe Biden and Kamala Harris really doing great for the country? And we're still yet to see that when nobody's posting.
Oh, that's a bunch of bull.
Well, what are they doing?
We don't have enough time on Jimmy Dale's show to
We
tell
got 5
all.
minutes.
Just go ahead. Finish
you.
your story.
I just finished the question. What has Joe Biden and Kamala Harris done that's positive for the country?
Well, let's start with the pandemic, okay? Where's John Thompson at? He's always on my side.
He's probably not up this time of the morning.
Oh, I bet he is watching the
Think
show.
so? He could be. He could be.
You know, because Randy's advertised it.
Oh.
Advertise what?
The Jimmy Dale show today that we were going to be on there.
Oh, I did. I posted.
Speaking of shows, Clara, you did a radio show for a couple of years.
Yeah, I did, for 2.5 years, as a matter of fact. So it wasn't new for me to be on your show, and I've been on here before, but I'm a little upset today because you ain't got no red tie.
Well, you know what? If you hadn't have brought that up, I went back in my office and looked, and I said, well, let me look and see if I got a red tie back here to put on, but that's another story. Clara, she got me with these red ties years ago, and you also got me chased by dogs by doing something different every day, too, taking a different route to work. But, you know, with you guys, you're friends. You know, a lot of people think, these guys they're about to fight, sure enough.
Yeah.
No, we're
And so
friends.
we're really kind of a butt heads, back off, take a deep breath, and then some of the messages that we share, we really do share that we have a good day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That we start our day off, say a nice prayer, thank God for the blessings, and we got another day to live, and she has a good day, I have a good day. And we really do say that. We really do. Because we had come to a point right here where I had to stop. Because, you know, the ORC was surfacing, so I kind of backed off. And then we really become friends, didn't we?
I guess.
I don't know if you're convincing Clara or not of that.
No, Randy and I are good friends. You know, I told Randy one time that friends are people you can dare to be yourself with. And I probably say things to Randy that nobody else would ever get a chance to.
That's probably true.
And sometimes he really makes me mad too, and I back off for 2 or 3 weeks, and he'll come up with something, and I go back again fighting.
He hooked you right back in there with him.
He's just fighting as always.
Yeah.
But it's all in fun.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. And with our world, the shape it's in overall today, we need a little fun. We need to smile and laugh a little bit.
You know, I had somebody stop me in the post office recently, and I won't call their name, but said that wanted to know if they could be my friend, that they'd gotten blocked off or something. I said he missed hearing mine and Randy's comments. So, you know, people do pay attention to it, and I'm glad we're on here because we really are not angry at each other.
We're not. We're not. And actually, while we're talking about like to see our back and forth on Facebook, Wally Gator called me yesterday. He's had 3 people say, hey, I've seen a ring on Facebook with us two. So he's got a couple stories to share that I'm going to see him Saturday. So I'll get updated on the ring. Did you ever see the rings between Wally Gator and I?
Yes, I saw it.
They're true. They're real. I've had people say they didn't know there was a real Wally Gator. And so I've convinced everybody that there is a real Mike Wally Gator. So the stories I put in with Wally said something, RC responded, it really happened. If
Randy's
you know Wally
a born
Gator.
comedian.
That is kind of scary, Clara.
Yeah, well, Randy can scare you sometimes. No doubt about it, especially when he's got them cowboy boots on or he's eating Bluebell ice cream.
Yeah, but both of you guys are really involved in the community, love your community, love your town. And I remember, Clara, I don't know how it is now, I'm sure it's probably still the same thing as much as you can, but you're a big supporter of Winterboro and Winterboro School.
Yeah, and that's something else we disagreed with. Randy's Comer and I'm Winterboro. So that give us another fight.
Well, no, not really. No, not really. Because
I knew he'd object.
Because, you know, for the last 2 years, I've got to do the radio on Friday Night Football with Comer. And Comer playing Winterboro, Childersburg, just different teams. So I've got to meet a lot of people in Winterboro. They're great folks. They've always had tough ball players because I played against them back in the day, and they're still. I love all the schools. I just think we've been through so much negative stuff, and things have just gone haywire at times. Our young people, we still have good, wholesome young people and families, and I'm just. I want to share this right here with you because I know we're talking about today's youth, but I got invited to Coach Lewis. He has once a year, Comer Sylacauga, people that played ball and lettered, got to go to a luncheon at Batters Up last week. Got a nice photo right there with all these players. A lot of them I've heard their names before, but never personally met. Comer Sylacauga, we mingled, we talked, we had name tags on. I said, I've heard of you for 40 years, and got a chance to meet some of those guys and just had a nice time. And so all of our schools need our help, all our, our teachers, our administration, the athletic departments, and we got to give back because they've done a lot for us.
Did you graduate from Winterboro?
Yes.
Okay.
And I started the foundation at Winterboro, and I'm retiring this year.
Okay.
30 years.
Wow. That's been a very, very effective tool.
Right, because we had the person that gave us the $1 million for scholarships, and we've given away thousands and thousands of dollars for scholarships. I actually just got through with having our annual meeting this past week, and it's just really nice to see those kids, and especially when they come back and thank you for what little bit they got, out of the scholarship.
Did Randy tell you he's a black belt in karate?
Did Randy tell me? How many times Randy has told me that?
I trained for 30 years. I'm a 4th degree black belt in karate.
I got news for you. I am not scared of Randy. Black belt or not. He's over the hill now, so.
I'm a cowboy belt now.
That's right.
Yeah, well, I'm not a horse, that's for sure.
Clara Curtis and Randy Caine with us this morning. And we've been looking forward to this because so many people that think, well, they're not really real people. They're just made up names and stuff. They can't be friends as much as they go at it on Facebook. And Facebook can be good, social media can be good, and it can be kind of troublesome sometime as well. But I want to make sure everybody knows that there's no glass partition between the two. We only have the boxing gloves here just for a show. They wouldn't really punch each other.
Oh, we would too.
Oh, you would?
Yeah, we would. I would.
That's not in my notes, by the way.
For your audience, Jimmy Dale, we are really friends.
Yeah, I can tell.
Darcy and Clara.
People you dare to be yourself with. That's my definition of friendship.
Yeah. So, you, Clara, with your thoughts of positive thinking, I remember you got me on those red ties, and it kind of hooked me on those. And I was telling Claire before the show, I got a closet full of red ties now because of her. But thinking positively, reacting positively to situations.
It's really important, and to me, and I try not to ever post anything on Facebook that's negative whatsoever, unless Randy pushes me. But positive thinking gets you through a pandemic, for one thing. And I think a lot of people have lost that. I just get hysterical at some of the things, and I have to share it with everybody. Are you on my Facebook, Jimmy Dale?
I read your stuff. I don't know if I am or not, to be honest with you.
Well, you send me a friendship thing, and I'll help you out with feeling better about yourself.
All right. I need all the help I can get, for sure.
But I just think it's funny. There's a number of people that I just dearly love what they put on there because it's always funny, and that's what you need during the day. And Randy's right. I don't do it every day, and he doesn't either. Randy, he's a little slow with positive thinking, Yeah. He's got his problems. But I believe in telling people you love them. I mean, there's a difference in being in love and just loving somebody, and I think it's really important. So sometimes I just send him a little message, said, "Good morning, God loves you, and so do I." And you know, that is hard for me
You
sometimes.
believe her, Randy?
I do. I really do.
You believe that God loves you, right?
Absolutely. And while we're on social media and what people post, Sue Barron, I don't know if Sue is
I saw Sue yesterday.
watching today, but she posts some really good spiritual, positive posts. And the one she did this morning was a new day, new hope, and new wishes. I wrote that down, Sue.
And I think that's every day because, you know, as you get older, which I'm not going to ever get older, Randy's so much older than me, it's a shame. But, and as Ronnie Davison would say, I think you're wrong about that. And I said, let the boy think what he wants to.
It's okay.
But,
well, you notice when we sat down to get mic'd up, I said, age before beauty.
yeah, it starts that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Giving back to the community. We've just come through COVID. It's a very, very trying time, and nothing that any of us have ever seen or experienced. And we're trying to come out of COVID. There's so many issues, though, in our world today.
Oh, there is. And you can look at them bad if you want to. And social media does advertise bad things all the time. They've slacked off a little bit since Facebook's got trying to get their act together. But
He's been in Facebook jail, I bet you, 50 times.
Actually, I've not.
he don't know how to operate it. That's the reason.
No, the only thing Facebook has done to me, they did change a format. So if you send a message to me, for whatever reason, that page is cut in half. So if you had a sentence this long, it cuts it off right about there. And we've tried every way in the world to figure that out. But I figured I was targeted because of my political thoughts and beliefs posting on Facebook. I figured, well, since I'm being censored, instead of cutting me off or putting me in jail, they just figured I can only read half of what sentence that you send me.
And he puts on what he wants to on the other half.
Well, Clara's in with President Biden, so maybe she can help you out.
I'm in with the Democrats, that's for sure.
Clara, why the Democratic Party?
Actually, it started when I was in high school. Mm-hmm. My democracy teacher, who, by the way, is in the nursing home in Ashland and got all of his faculty, Troy Griffin and everybody from Winterboro from all the 60s and 70s will remember him, used to be just a big Democrat. And when he taught democracy, he taught us all about that, but he also taught us about the Democratic Party. And I just guess I got to thinking about it in that I thought that the Democratic Party fit my personality better. And I've loved politics all my life, really. How I actually ran for politics was I went to a meeting for the company I went to, and one of the things that we had to do was write down what we wanted to do and never had done. And I said, I always wanted to run for public office. So I came back home and ran for public office. Didn't win. Didn't win the second time either. And didn't win the third time either. But it was such a good feeling to know that I had accomplished what it was.
You're big into writing stuff down.
Oh, yes. I got notes all over my house that tells me what I need to do.
How many of them notes have to do with RC?
Don, why? That's a good question. You answer that for me, Jimmy. Why?
Well, I'd like to respond to you. You asked how she got going.
Okay.
Well, I remember being in the 7th grade when our math teacher, Mr. Nelson, walked in with tears in his eyes and told us that the President of the United States had been shot, John F. Kennedy. But we're 7th graders. You see it all over the news, but to fast forward as you get older and you become an adult and you start trying to pay attention to why am I paying so many taxes now and this, that, and the other. So a few years ago, I started trying to pay a little bit more attention to who's getting elected. I am for a two-party system, but I'm also in favor of a two-party, common sense, America first. Take care of our country first.
She's rolling her eyes.
It's okay. And then because of my 30 plus years of traveling around the country and outside the country, I've been to Japan, I've been to Europe, I've been to Mexico, Canada, And I'm all for people from around the world coming to the United States. But I'm also for coming in the proper legal way. Also, I work with a lot of Canadians. I work with some from Mexico. They've all come to the country the legal way through the process. Took them years to get to where they needed to be, and have turned out to be great citizens.
He's a politician.
And so,
Matter of fact, I tried to encourage him to run for councilman.
I'd get fired. I wouldn't last a week. I'd get impeached because I'd probably fire half the bunch.
Yeah, he probably
there.
would, so I better quit that.
So, but that's my belief, and I'm not so much I don't know whether you'd call it Republican or independent. I'm for the mindset and agenda. What are you going to do for this community? I don't care who you are, what color you are, where you come from, as long as you're here legally. What are you going to do for this community?
See, I told you he
this
was a
county,
politician.
this state, this country. And I don't really give a hoot if you're 42 or 82, as long as you're focused on the United States of America.
And that's what my
first.
party is all about, focusing in on making it better. That's why we don't get along.
So, from the Republican Party to the Democratic Party, both you guys obviously love this country, love America, love its people. I've never seen, and I can't remember a whole lot, but I've never seen our country struggling within itself as much as I see it now.
Yeah, and it's happening everywhere. I mean, even here in Sylacauga, it's happening. I don't know what's going on. Really, I don't. You said love God and country. I think maybe we better go back to loving God more than we do country.
Well, yeah, I don't know if this is the right answer or not, but I do know it says one day that what is right will be, what is wrong is now right, what is right is now wrong. I think the devil is just having a field day in this country with brainwashing, confusion, division, just tearing people, friends, families apart. And so far he's doing it, and when a house is divided, we all know it's not going to stand.
Yeah.
So,
And that's one of the reasons Randy and I keep on. I mean, if it can bring a laugh to somebody or
Sure.
a comment, and actually Randy's followers have turned on him. They're about my followers now. They give good report on me.
So
I don't
Randy's
know.
followers have turned on him.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're all for me now.
I asked her one time, who are you talking about followers? And so there, a lot of people jump in there and like or make a comment or two, but I don't really have a following.
Oh, he's not true. He does too.
Well, the ones that do follow me, thank you very much, and you're very smart, common sense people.
You ever think of running for office again, Clara?
No, I got too old for fights.
Randy?
I tried to encourage Randy.
They have. I still work full time. Still got a lot going on in life. I've been fortunate enough to be healthy.
This ain't wood.
Oh, you walked right into that one.
So, no, I really don't. I'm more of a boots on the ground kind of guy. I'd rather, let's say you're the mayor, and okay, all right, Randy, here's what we're gonna do today. Let me go get it done. That's kind of me, and.
We have total different personalities.
Yeah.
Can you see
Before
what
we go, we
clash?
got just 2 or 3 minutes left. Jim Green passed away just a week or so ago, and talking about loving a community. That guy loved our community and always working to try to that Foster reunion. That was his baby.
Yeah, so many people have died recently that have done so much for like Donna Dickey. She did so much for the library and everything. And we must not forget those people.
Well, actually, I got a chance to sit with Jim at the last little Frosty get-together they had up at the VFW.
Yeah.
It was a mixture of Sylacauga, Comer, everybody. There's a lot of people there. And I actually I sat down with Jim, Sue Morgan that lives down in Dothan now. Jim Ziegler come up, and we all sat there together and talked. And, he's putting out, what do you think about Jim Ziegler running for governor?
What I think you don't really
We
want to know.
ain't got time to talk about that.
Okay, all right. That'll be the next show. But yeah, I had a chance to visit with Jim just a week or so before that happened.
All right. Hey, thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure to have you. And folks, this is not fake. It's real live television. These are real live people. They care about each other, but they just about as polar opposite as you can get, I think. But,
That's right. Exactly. Thank you for letting us be on.
Thank you, Jimmy Dale.
Welcome. Our ratings are out the ceiling on this one today. Quick break and back with a closing thought right after this.